Hey everyone, welcome back to Kingdom Lifestyle. My name is Krista, and it is so good to have you back with us today. So today I have a word for you, and it is about love. It is about being set free by the knowledge that you are loved by God, and that it is a command that we love others as we love ourselves. And I want to go a little deeper into that. And so first, I actually want to read 1 John 4:7, and it says, "Dear friends, let us continue to love one another, for love comes from God. Anyone who loves is a child of God and knows God. But anyone who does not love does not know God, for God is love," right? And so I got two more scriptures I want to read to you real quick. So then also in 1 John 4:18 says, "Such love has no fear, because perfect love expels all fear. If we are afraid, it is for fear of punishment. And this shows that we have not fully experienced his perfect love. We love each other because he first loved us." And then down in verse 20, it says, "If someone says, 'I love God,' but hates a fellow believer, that person is a liar. For if we don't love people we can see, how can we love a God whom we cannot see? And he has given us this command: those who love God must also love their fellow believers." And so I just feel like God's really been highlighting that for me this week. It's kind of all come to like this final revelation of kind of everything that we've walked through. And it is that if you do not love yourself, you cannot love anybody else. And if you can't love you, who you see and who you know, how can you love God? And so all of these scriptures come down to us having to love ourselves first. There's another verse, I think it's in Matthew, and it says, love your neighbor as yourself. It's one of the second most important commandments of God. And, it's as you love yourself, as Christ loved the church, right? So it is just so important that you maintain that love. There are so many of you right now that are praying for peace, that are praying, for deliverance, to be set free from certain things. You are crying out to God day and night just to kind of have that peace and that direction, and you're seeking him in just to kind of know like what you should be doing and where you should be going. And there's fear that comes in, and in all of that, the enemy is absolutely attacking your identity and who you are and the way that you see yourself. If you don't see yourself correctly, the way that God sees you, or for exactly like who God has created you to be, you are going to stop loving other people. And when you stop loving yourself and then you stop loving people, it creates a host of issues in your life where literally your sight becomes dim. You are not able to see what is in front of you from a correct lens. It really skews your perspective and being able to see things in a true light. And so today, God is calling people to love themselves, to love yourself and to see yourself correctly. And the thing is in the society that we live in, there are such high standards put on us to say, if you do this, if you look this way, if you buy these things, then you can love yourself, then you're worthy. And that's not the way that the kingdom works. That's not how it actually works. You are worthy of love because you're a child of God. You are worthy to love yourself because God created you in his image. You are created in the likeness of God, who created everything else. He laid down his life. He gave up his son because he loved you. And so everything, literally from our salvation to the beginning of the world, was all built on love. And there's so many scriptures on love that I could have went through with you guys today, and I would have loved to, but I don't have that time to be able to dedicate to it. But I may do more on this because it really changes if you don't love yourself and if you don't love other people. Because if you don't love yourself, you can't love others. You can't pour out from an empty cup. And that's what that comes down to. It changes everything, and it leaves you open for the enemy to come in and to distort your mind and to distort your heart and your emotions. all of a sudden fear is able to come in, because another translation of that scripture is perfect love casts out all fear. And without love, or in fear, there's torment. And that was the first time I ever read that scripture. That's the translation that it was in. It was to King James, and that's what that says. And I remember having such a moment of being delivered, because I was living in so much fear of people, fear of man, because there were so many things that were going on in my life that I had ended up just caging myself in, where I wasn't loving myself, I wasn't loving others, I wasn't allowing others to love me, and I had put myself into a prison. And we are definitely called to have discernment. We are called to be cautious. But the thing is love absolutely sets you free. It sets you free to connect with other people, to love on other people. If you are feeling down, go and love on somebody else, and I guarantee you, your cup will get filled. If you're having a bad day, find somebody whose day you can make better. That will fill your cup, because love is life-giving. When you give love to others, you are giving love to yourself. And so, there's a lot of different ways that we can find to be able to connect with that. And the thing is, I feel like that's why God sent me here today, to tell you to love yourself. Like, if you haven't found that in any other way, then here it is, just, in plain English, love yourself, because everything else flows from that. And whenever you stop loving you, and you can't love others, everything in you stops flowing. It stops flowing forward. You stop giving. And, whenever we give, we get. And it's a transactional thing. We don't think of it that way, but it really is. It's a trading floor. And, you are giving, and without wanting, but you are still receiving. And so, yeah, it's just, there is so much power, and without loving yourself, you lose so much power, because it handicaps your ability to give to others and to reach others and to be able to have boldness and confidence in the things that God's wanting you to do. And it weakens your mind, it weakens your spirit, it weakens your ability to see the truth. And so the enemy can come in so easily and start messing with you, and literally messing with your life, because he starts messing with the way that you think. And the battlefield is absolutely in the mind. If your mind is not sharp, if your mind does not know the truth, you will be easily manipulated, and you will be easily taken down. And so it's so important to keep our minds in the right place. But to do that, your heart has to be in the right place. And everybody gets off track on this. I am one of the biggest people that gets off track on this. So this is not just a word for you, but this is a word for me, because I just walked through this. And so, coming on YouTube and being obedient and doing what the Lord's wanting me to do is coming at a cost. And, I get hit with certain things where the enemy thinks, how can I make her not do this anymore? Well, there's several ways. And the thing is I'm so thankful for the wisdom that God gives us, and that he's given me when I pray, to say what's going on here, to where I'm able to get rid of it, able to correct that issue and keep moving forward. And I just want you to do the same thing, because I don't think that that's just happened to me. I believe that it's happened to so many of you, because the enemy wants to hold you back from everything that God's calling you to do, everything that God's created you to be. And he has called you to such greater things, and he has made you so beautiful and so perfect. He did not waste anything. He did not make a mistake when he made you. Everything that you've been through in your life has been for a purpose and for a reason. Even the hard, dark, horrible things where you say, why, God? Why did that happen to me? And God has a plan and a purpose for everything. We all have free will. And God doesn't cause horrible things to happen to us, but sometimes he does allow it, because he says, I have a plan, and I have a way that I'm going to redeem that in you. And that test is going to become a testimony, and it's going to help other people. It's going to set other people free. I'm going to use you. I'm going to send you out, and you're going to do great things for me. So that is why. So you got to keep your love cup full. So get in the word. Hear God's voice, listen to him, and just shower yourself with love, with the godly love, with the love that God has for you. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't pick yourself apart. Be who God created you to be authentically and move forward. So you can love others, so you can pour out on other people, so you can help to bind up the brokenhearted, so you can set the captives free. Okay, I feel like that does it for right now. I really pray that this blesses you. I know that it blessed me. And I thank you guys so much for everybody who has liked, commented, subscribed. I love hearing your comments. I love hearing that these things resonate with you, that God's confirming things for you through these messages. It is the biggest blessing to me. So thank you guys. I love you so much, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.